it's Katrina. ADHD is stereotypically a male thing. While boys with ADHD tend to have more externalized symptoms such as hyperactivity and impulsivity, girls with ADHD tend to have more internalized symptoms such as attention deficit. In today's video, I will talk about how ADHD presents in girls. Hyperfocus. This one applies to both genders. Despite having difficulty with paying attention, hyperfocusing is a trait of ADHD. Hyperfocus is sometimes a coping strategy when something is boring, and other times it may feel like there's no control over it. Parents and teachers may not expect someone to have ADHD because they hyperfocus, even though it is a symptom. Impulsivity. Impulsivity in girls may present as having strong emotions, which leads to being unable to slow down or think about what they say. In addition, girls with ADHD may not know what is or isn't socially appropriate, which can lead to difficulty in making and keeping friends. Organizational skills. Organizational skills may be a challenge in girls with ADHD. They may struggle to follow multi-step directions. Also, they may frequently lose items. For example, I often lose my phone and keys around the house. Drifting off in conversations. Girls with ADHD may have their mind drifting off during conversations unless they are the one talking or the topic is interesting. Overspending. ADHD girls may overspend money to deal with other problems. For example, if they don't have an outfit for a party, they may buy a new outfit despite having not enough money. Things ADHD girls are more at risk of. Girls with ADHD are more at risk than boys with ADHD with substance abuse, peer rejection, and doing poorly in school. They are also at higher risk for mood disorders, self-esteem problems, developing anxiety, self-harm, and eating disorders. They are also at higher risk for chronic sleep deprivation and compulsive overeating. Indecision. Girls with ADHD are frequently indecisive. They sometimes say, "I don't know." People have commented on me saying I don't know a lot. Hyperactivity. While hyperactivity in boys includes things like jumping off walls, girls may have more subtle traits such as constantly tapping their fingers, fidgeting, shaking their leg, always doodling in their notebook, being overly sensitive or emotional, and interrupting conversations. Another example is that girls with ADHD may be overly talkative. They might sometimes be always talking in class, sometimes even when the teacher tells her to stop talking. Girls may also interrupt impulsively. While boys would leave their seat, girls tend to show their restlessness more verbally. Difficulty with finishing assignments. Girls with ADHD may have difficulty with finishing their assignments. They may consistently fail to complete an assignment or fail to complete a test within the allocated time. With myself in uni, I get an extra 20 minutes per hour of a test. Difficulty with making and keeping friends. While boys do have difficulty with making and keeping friends, girls may find it even harder. They may feel more pressure to pay close attention to their peers' feelings or pick up on subtle social cues, which girls with ADHD do struggle with. While some girls with ADHD are talkative and outgoing, they may struggle with making friends because they get interrupted too much or they get too bossy. Boys with ADHD are less likely to experience this problem as their rules are less strict and they do more physical play. If a group of boys kick a footy, another boy may kick a footy and then it will be easy to join in. With girls, if they don't receive the support needed, their self-esteem can go down. Difficulty with concentration. Girls with ADHD often have difficulty with concentration. They could be daydreaming or they could be distracted by external events, such as a bird outside a classroom window. It may cause distraction from something more important, such as a teacher talking. Girls with ADHD also have difficulty listening and retaining multi-step directions. They also struggle to focus when the teacher is talking for several minutes at a time. Difficulty controlling emotions. Girls with ADHD may have difficulty controlling their emotions. They may be overly reactive, for example, screaming or crying at the smallest events. There have been times where people would tell me something small and I would get really offended.
Unpleasant emotions.
Girls with ADHD often experience dysphoria, which means an unpleasant mood, major depression, and anxiety disorders. Girls with ADHD appear to experience more psychological distress and lower self-esteem than boys would. Girls also experience feelings of shame. Girls blame themselves for ADHD-related problems. For example, if a boy fails a test, they would blame the teacher for making the questions difficult, while girls would blame themselves for being dumb. Girls with ADHD are more engaged in emotion-based coping strategies such as reducing stress, rather than task-oriented ones such as taking action to solve problems.
Executive functioning problems.
Girls with ADHD may struggle to complete a task and be unable to plan and then not implementing what has been planned.
Disorganisation.
One way disorganisation shows in girls with ADHD is through messiness. A schoolgirl with ADHD may have a disorganised backpack or desk. In addition, she may have difficulty with homework or classroom routine. For example, she might not be able to keep her papers in order or find a pen when it's needed. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out my other social media, which is linked below.